Today's video is sponsored by Sonic Foam Ear Tips. Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out the brand new OnePlus Earbuds 3 Pro. Now this is more of OnePlus's budget lineup. The Earbuds 3 Pro come in at $79, although right now because they have just been released there is a sale or an early bird price where you can get them for $59. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. From a budget standpoint, this is going to attract a lot of buyers because of what it offers in the sound. But on top of that, it also has some very impressive features. But before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and talk about today's sponsor, which is Sonic Foam. If you are a fan of earbuds, which if you watch this channel, you likely are, most earbuds come with silicone ear tips, but a lot of you guys actually prefer foam ear tips. It just gives you a better fit. It's more isolation. It just blocks out a lot more things around you. And Sonic Foam is a company that pretty much has you covered whatever earbuds you have. In fact, on their website, there is a compatibility list that goes through almost every earbud, so you can find the right one that's for the earbud that you have. And it even comes in a nice little hard case, and mine came with a nice handwritten note, which I see is something that they include with every purchase. And I think that's kind of a nice personal touch. So if you're somebody that prefers foam ear tips, I highly recommend Sonic Foam. I will have a link to their site in the description and also to some of their Amazon listings. And again, I'd like to thank Sonic Foam for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the OnePlus Earbuds 3 Pro. This pair has hybrid active noise canceling. They are using 12.4mm drivers that have a titanium coating. They're calling it titanized. It even says next to it in the site that this is a legit word. It's also using bass wave 2.0, and I'm going to get into this when we talk about the sound. This is the huge standout feature on these earbuds, and it is not a gimmick. I went into these thinking this was just some weird term they came up with to kind of push that they may have bass. There's definitely something here. It also uses Bluetooth 5.4, and it has dual device connection, so you can connect to more than one device at a time. This is something a lot of people look for in their earbuds. Now the overall design and the look, I'm actually a fan of the case. The case kind of has that pebble feel like the Pixel Buds have. I have the starry black version, but it's also available in a soft jade or a greenish color that OnePlus normally has for their phone. So if you're looking for a pair of earbuds to match the phone that you have, you may want to go with that greenish color. But I do like the black look. It is a matte finish. It's not showing fingerprints like crazy. And the earbuds, as far as from a distance, it kind of has the same look as the AirPods Pro. So it does have the stem style design, but it's not one of those large obnoxious stems. It's a mixture between matte and glossy finish. Now these do use touch controls, and out of the box, it does not give you control over everything. But luckily these work with the Hey Melody app. You can go into that app and switch around some things and get these to control everything. The app is also where you will keep your earbuds updated. There are some EQ options. This is important with this pair because it responds so well to EQing. There's some pre-built ones in there, but you can go in and customize it the way that you want. But this is also where you go in and adjust the bass wave 2.0 feature. And again, we'll talk about this once we get to the sound. Also within the app, you can switch it into gaming mode. This cuts down lag when it comes to gaming or watching movies or videos. So this is a really good pair to use for all of those types of media. And within the app, this is where you switch it between the different noise canceling modes that it has and also the transparency mode, or you could just turn it off altogether. And the noise canceling on this pair punches well above its price tag. It is honestly right up there, in my opinion, with the Sony and the Bose, because not only does it do a good job of blocking out lower tones, engines and AC units, stuff like that, it also does a really good job of blocking out people talking or the TV that may be playing in the same room as you. So this definitely is not an under $100 type of noise canceling. This is pretty impressive here. And the same thing with the transparency mode. I felt like it picked up everything around me pretty naturally, and it was easy to carry on a conversation without ever feeling like I needed to take the earbuds out. Now, speaking of taking the earbuds out, there are no smart sensors on this pair, so it won't pause when you take them out, and it doesn't go back to what you're playing when you put them back in your ear. So having a good transparency mode is pretty important so that you can carry on a conversation and not have to take these out. Now, as far as using them outdoors, it comes in with an IP55 rating, and we don't normally see this a lot in earbuds, especially budget earbuds, but not only does it have some pretty decent protection against rain and splashes and sweat and things like that, it also has some pretty decent dust protection. So if you're gonna use these at the beach, or you're gonna use these on a construction site, like let's say you're working, you don't necessarily have to worry about anything damaging your earbuds. Now, as far as what all they've included in the box, it does come with 3 sets of silicone ear tips. It does come with a tiny USB-C cable. This has to be one of the tiniest USB-C cables that I've seen, but it does have that typical OnePlus look to it. If you've ever had any OnePlus product before, you'll know that they have usually this orangish or white or some color specific to the USB-C charging cable. And speaking of the charging, the battery life is so impressive on this pair, especially if you're going to use it with the noise canceling off, where you can get about 12 hours on the earbuds and about 44 hours using the case. But if you decide to use these with the noise canceling on, it pretty much cuts everything in half. Now you're only looking at about 5.5 hours on the earbuds and about 22 hours using the case. But this pair does have a fast charging feature, and this is one of the best, if not the best, fast charging I've seen on any pair of earbuds, because a 10-minute charge will get you 11 hours worth of use. I don't think I've seen that on any other pair of earbuds. So if you're somebody that doesn't always make sure your earbuds are charged and ready to go, throwing them in the case for 10 minutes and getting 11 hours is super impressive. Now, if you are going to use this pair for taking phone calls, the mics on here definitely do the job. And I think this makes sense because OnePlus makes phones, which microphones are important with phones, and they simply just carried it over to these earbuds. Even in noisy environments, I felt like it picked up my voice very well, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test of the OnePlus Nord Buds 3 Pro. Like I said, I think because OnePlus makes phones, I think they just incorporated it into the earbuds. I'm very impressed with the sound quality of the mics overall, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. So now here's the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. And before we really get into the sound, I do want to say, if you're a purist, if you're somebody that wants a flat or neutral sound, this pair is just simply not it. This is an aggressive pair when it comes to sound. It is very dynamic, and this goes back to that bass wave 2.0 feature I was talking about earlier. This is probably the bassiest pair of earbuds that I've ever tested once you adjust it up. So do keep that in mind. Out of the box, it's not trying to overwhelm you with the low end, but it's nice that you can do that if you want to. Going in and messing around with the EQ settings and going around and messing with that bass wave 2.0 slider, this is definitely subwoofer type bass. This is aggressive bass. It just has so much presence to it that this is a bass head's dream pair of earbuds. And the fact that, again, we're talking about $59, it's super impressive the sound quality that you're able to get out of these compared to a lot of the other earbuds in the market. So not only does it have impressive bass, the mids you can tell are pushed slightly forward so that vocalists and certain instruments don't get lost in the mix. And the treble has to be boosted quite a bit, which it is out of the box, where it has this really bright but not too harsh type approach. And it just balances out really, really well with that very punchy bass. So keep in mind, this again is a tuned up on the outside, like the bass and the treble is tuned up. The mids again are pushed slightly forward, but luckily there's a lot of space in the sound. So it doesn't feel like it's closed in. It doesn't feel like it's isolating you to a point where it's just too much. It gives everything room to breathe, and it does a really good job of being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. So the sound stage, the sound imaging is also impressive. I did not expect this because of how dynamic the sound signature is on these earbuds. It's just so fun to listen to, and it just works really good across all genres. Again, if you're an audio purist, this is where I would say these are not for you. So my overall opinion, this is really simple. Again, I said this is a bass head lover's dream. You're gonna have a lot of fun, especially if you listen to a lot of hip hop and pop. In fact, even listening to metal, having the impact of bass when it comes to the drums, I just really enjoyed using these, and I didn't expect this at this price point. Really, the only things I feel like you're giving up is you do not get those smart sensors. The case is not a Qi wireless charging case. And again, this is always disappointing because I've gotten used to being able to put my charging cases just on a wireless charger. That is something I had to sacrifice with these. But again, the battery life, the noise canceling, the sound quality, and at this price tag just makes it an easy pair to recommend. But guys, that's my video on the OnePlus Nord's Bud 3 Pro. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.